Welcome back. Spring is here. We think so, right? Which means graduation is in sight and it's time to start thinking about entering the workforce.
Yes. Here to help find a job in the tech world is Chief Information Security Officer for Omni Commander, Roy Ross. Welcome.
Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, I know, you must have passed the test, so you're back again.
I know, lucky me.
Well, let's talk about tech jobs and why that could be changing during the season.
Yeah, you know, on the news, a lot of people have been seeing stuff with tech layoffs all over the country, and so people are afraid, especially if you have been studying for tech your entire college career, and now it's coming to an end and it's time to get out there. So I'm trying to help people get ready for the industry.
Well, and how do we brush up on these technical skills?
So there's a bunch of different things that you can do. Of course, you have the stuff you learned in school, but you want to get out there and go on things like Coursera, maybe Udemy, and touch up on skills, or perhaps learn new ones that you didn't get in class that you see popping up on job posts all over the place.
And when you say changing the landscape during this time of year, we're talking about college students perhaps trying to get into the field and maybe dip their toes in?
Right, college students and job changers, right? And so when you look out there, you hear all the time, hey, tech is where it's at. Tech is if you want to have a high paying salary. So people are like, how can I do that even though I've never worked in there before? And so you have to get out there and get ready for internships and stuff like that.
Right. And is this what you help people do? Kind of launch into, you know, a tech career?
Well, what I try to do is mentor as many people as I can and kind of give back to the community. And so with Omni Commander, as the Chief Information Security Officer, I get so many resumes all the time, and I'm just like, oh, I can tell that this resume wasn't made for us, right? And so I look in there and I'm like, hey, what you can do is next time, if you put this, or this, you can help yourself on the next interview, right?
Okay, so you're brushing up on your resume, your conversation skills. What about building projects? What do you mean by that when you're looking for a job?
Right, so when you get in there, when you think of art, you think of a portfolio. Well, the same thing with tech, right? You want to have a portfolio of the things you've done. Build your own website. When you want to present yourself, build a website of yourself, and that shows your skills as well as your creativity. You can get on things like GitHub and show any design products that you may have done, your coding, stuff like that. So everything you learn in those courses I talked about earlier, you can make projects for that to present during your interviews.
Great ways to showcase your work.
Absolutely.
Also, we have a huge tech community here in Utah, so you say networking is huge.
It's huge, right? We're in the Silicon Slopes, and so there's an event going on at least once or twice a month, right? Or if you get on meetup.com, there's all types of stuff. So you need to get out there, shake hands, you need to talk to people, tell them what you do, ask them what they do. They can end up being your mentor, or they may let you know of a job opening that's going on right now.
You never know who you meet and who that could help get you your next job. You do say mentoring. How big of a deal is that when you have a good mentor?
It's a huge deal. So a lot of times people do the shotgun blast approach. They try to learn everything. But when I ask someone, what do you want to do? And then I help guide them on the path. You need to take this course, do this project, do it like this. And then they're more focused. They're able to land the job that they want. As well as when you can speak to someone who's your mentor, they're probably higher up on the ladder at work. And so it teaches you how to communicate with folks in the executive realm.
Well, and a mentor can help you get ready for that next step of interviewing, getting your resume ready. What are some tips that you have to kind of take that next step?
Okay, I talked about earlier for the resume, you want to tailor it to the job that you're looking for, right? That doesn't mean going and making stuff up. That means you want to highlight the skills that they're asking for in that resume, right? And so you also want to practice your interview skills. So get your buddy, get your parents, go to a school counselor and say, hey, I want to get a high-paying tech job, help me get through this interview, and even look up possible questions you're going to be asked.
All good information. And why should we find a job in technology?
Well, we know that we all touch tech every day, right? And with that, those skills are always going to be needed, and those jobs aren't going away. So if you want something that's stable, something that is rising, you want to know what the next thing coming on, what's the new hotness, you got to get in tech, and you have to be ready to fill that next job that's going to be coming open.
Speaking of filling jobs, you have some openings coming up in Sandy, your Sandy location?
I do. If you go to omnicommander.com, royroy.com/careers. You'll see we have job openings for marketing, that's social media marketing. We have paid media jobs, sales jobs, cybersecurity internships. So even if you're not ready to take one of those full-on jobs, we do have internships available. Even if it's not listed there, go ahead and give us a shout, and we can probably find something for you.
Okay, Roy, I liked how you said knowing the next hotness. Are you ready to flirt?